Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial of this Christmas tree with a graphical cat added and obviously some beautiful wording. And I can't wait to show you all the interesting techniques that I used to create this painting. And one of the things that I did that is so fun is I added this cat. And now I am not a cartoon drawer, and it is a specific talent and skill to be able to draw cartoons. I don't have those skills. So I think it was either Pixabay or Pexels.com and searched for a jumping cat, and I found the perfect thing. So thank you to this person who I'm crediting here for sharing this for free on Pixabay, or it might have been Pexels. And that's how I got the idea for how to draw this cat. And so that's the amazing world we live in these days. If you don't know how to imagine something or figure out how to paint something, or you don't have just the right reference, you can use Pexels or Pixabay. Those are copyright-free images that you can use for any kind of use. You can also use artificial intelligence. You can go to gemini.google.com. You can go to midjourney.com. You have to pay for that one. You can go to chatgpt.com. Those are all artificial intelligence websites, and you can type in, I need a reference image of blah, 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 or I need to see what this painting would look like of a spoonbill sitting up on a stump, or whatever it is you need. It's a glorious time. It's also a challenging time because at the same time, artificial intelligence has pretty much taken away my print business where I used to sell prints, and now I don't. So, you know, you go with the flow. You hate what was taken away, but you embrace what has been added. Let's take a look at how I painted this fun little whimsical Christmas tree. Here we go. All right, I'm using the Fabriano Artistico cold press for this one, and I'm using a number 2 pencil, and I'm drawing a curved line to help me remember what angle to make the Christmas tree boughs come off, basically at a 90-degree angle to the line that goes through the middle of the tree. And some of this is going to go off camera at the beginning, but you just, at the very beginning, you make the top really thin and just use one stroke of your brush to paint, kind of in a calligraphic way. You know, when you paint or do calligraphy with letters, parts of the line are thin, some are wide, but they all have a really pretty sweeping style to them. That's kind of what I was going for here. And I'm using about milk consistency green paint on dry paper. And I'm breaking the line a little bit here. I'm using my, this is my, it's a sword brush, also known as a striper by Silver Black Velvet. And I mixed my green from French ultramarine and yellow. And notice I'm taking my ribbon, kind of ribbon style painting at a 90-degree angle across the line that I painted. And this is the first time I did this. If I did this the second time, I think it would come out even better. But to add interest, you can make each time you pick up paint a little bit different mix ratio, sometimes more blue, sometimes more yellow green, and that can add interest as well. But again, this is French ultramarine and Indian yellow. You can use Holbein or cadmium, or just use a tube green, but add a little bit of red if you use a tube green, because tube greens look kind of plastic. And then I put in some darker, thicker blue paint just to add a little bit of depth. And I remember I'm going to use the stencil here, so I need to get it pretty solid in this area so that the stencil really shows up well. And next I'm going to get some milk consistency burnt sienna, and I'm going to paint it so that the wet burnt sienna touches the wet tree, so they kind of melt together a little bit for a dreamier look. The more things you can get to melt together in your paintings, no matter what you're painting, the dreamier they're going to look, especially when there's similar values like this. The tree trunk is a similar value to the greenery in the tree. So it looks good to just have them attached. And then I put I had a few white spaces between the tree branches up there, so I put some curving tree trunk up closer to the top of the tree too. Just because my painting gave me that opportunity, and here I'm putting in some Indian yellow just to see what it would do, because you guys know how I am with the Indian yellow. I just like to see what it will do when you paint it into wet paint, and it does diffuse quite a bit here. Getting some Indian yellow, and I'm going to paint on the star, just really wabi-sabi style, not perfect, but just kind of loose and whimsical and imperfect for the star. And just playing in my paint, really. All right, next we'll do the stencil. So make sure your painting is bone dry and get a piece of Miracle Eraser, Magic Eraser, and you get it wet. And I kind of put mine off center and kind of tilt it a little bit to give it a little bit more energy. And then I just scrub away, and it just works like a dream on this paper. Now remember, if you're using more student grade paper, your paper might not put up with this much scrubbing. So when in doubt, use better 100% cotton paper at the very least. But this paper that I used, this Fabriano Artistico, really allowed me to lift this beautifully. Just perfect. And then you can blot at it to just get all the excess paint off. All right, then you just let all that completely dry. Next, I'm going to use my number 2 pencil to roughly draw in the cat. I went and found one on Pixabay that I liked. And I also donated a little bit of money to the artist as a thank you. I just think that's nice whenever you can do that, is to support living artists. So I went and gave him a little donation on his Pixabay page, and just drawing this roughly, I am hand drawing this. You could just trace it. But I'm just making everything a simple shape. The head is roughly a circle, and then the legs are roughly like bananas, kind of banana shaped. And to me, it was a fun little challenge to just hand draw this, because this is not what I typically do. It's a little bit of a challenge for me, because this is not how I normally work. But just remember, there is a line drawing to this tutorial. If you go to the bottom of the tutorial page, there are hot links at the bottom that should have a .jpeg at the end. You click on those and you can download them, and they include a line drawing. Then I'm going to do some line work with my Pigma Micron pen in 05. Should work nicely. And then next, I'm just going to clean my palette, and then I'm just going to get some very watered down black, which will translate into drying as a gray color for the cat. So I'll use my Daniel Smith lamp black with plenty of water added, just milk consistency. I'm just going to clean my palette. I'm using probably like a 2 or a 3 round, just whatever small brush you have that is small enough for you to get the details you need in this area. And I just painted it like the original artist did. Just put a little stripe over his back. Painting this on dry paper with tea consistency lamp black. And remember, tea consistency is more like painting with dirty water. It's just a lot of water with a little bit of paint added, so that you get a nice light gray for the cat. And then if everything's completely dry, you can add some line work for some definition. This is just a stylistic choice. I kind of like scribble. And this is a Signo Uniball Gold metallic pen. And I'm just playing with it on my lettering. The jury is still out whether or not I like using these pens on my stenciled lettering. I almost like it, I think, without any further additional pen work, because my hand is so unsteady. I kind of made it look awkward. I think I'm just being judgmental, I know, but maybe you have steadier hands. If I could have gotten my line work to be a little bit more accurate, maybe it would have looked better. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it looks fine, but I'll let you decide how you want to augment your stencil work. You don't really need to do anything, I don't think. Here I'm using a Sharpie pen, but I do recommend that you use the Pigma Micron archival pens if you have them. When I was being more careful and getting the pen work right on the edge, I think that makes it look better. I think this is an absolutely adorable way to make a little Christmas card for a cat lover in your life, or even make the cat have the same markings as the cat of the person you're sending this card to. And remember, if you want to send it as a postcard, you can put Dorland's wax on it. Or you can mount it on a piece of art paper, colored art paper, using double-sided tape to make it look a little bit more finished. Getting some Daniel Smith permanent green light. I don't think I would do this. I like the tree as it is. I don't think it needed any more green. I was just putting one more color of green on. I'm just futzing with it. I just, this is part of the artistic process, is enjoying the process, not necessarily making it about the outcome, but making about enjoying the process. So I kind of just enjoyed this painting, so I was playing with it. But you may or may not want to put Daniel Smith permanent green light little ribbons like I did here. All right, that is it for this little painting. I can't wait to see what you guys do with it. All right, thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. Remember, if you join for a year, you pay for 10 months and you get 2 months free on my Patreon. And you also get more in-depth access to me. You can email me your works in progress or your finished paintings to ask for suggestions on how to improve. That's a great way to progress more quickly. And I do encourage you to take advantage of that. It's such a great thing that I am still able to do while my Patreon is manageable. Who knows how long I'll be able to do that. and I love what I do. And so thank you for being a part of my art adventure. It is a wild ride and I love it. I love every minute of it. Well, maybe not all the editing, but yeah, chop wood, carry water. Gotta do it. All right, thanks so much for joining me for this tutorial, and I can't wait to share the next thing. I'm excited about so many things these days. I hope you all are having a wonderful holiday season. I'm sorry I'm not in Christmas clothes because it's October when I'm recording this, but I wanted to get it out to you in time for Christmas and for the holiday season, so I hope you enjoyed it. Now go watercolor your world. Bye, everybody.